Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to our fifth program on Alchemy for the Soul. I'm here again with another topic. For the ones that don't know it, I will be here every Friday at 8 p.m. My intention is to share from my heart all this knowledge about family constellations. So if you don't know much about it and you would like to have some information on how to transcend those memories of your past and those of your ancestors' past, that might be affecting you and you might not know it, how they are affecting you, well, welcome to join us. Again, this is our weekly program. It's called Alchemy for the Soul. We are all in that process of transcending, like alchemy, right? Transcending our soul and all of those unresolved memories of the past that still affect us today. Welcome, welcome. I see some people already joining here in Instagram. I see Nadia and I see Blanca. Thank you for being here. We are live on Facebook and also on YouTube and here in Instagram. For the ones that don't know it, we are following the information from this book. It's called Alchemy for the Soul. And I wrote this book last year. And this book contains 7 steps that can help you identify those memories from your past that you haven't been able to transcend. And of course, having this information and expanding your consciousness to understand why you are connecting to those and what is your part. What am I supposed to do with that? How can I change that so I can recreate a different reality in my life? This is the book. This is the book to get. It is, you can find the book in Amazon in a paper version as well as in a Kindle version. So our topic today is, what are family constellations? Oh, before I begin also, I want to invite you to participate. This this program or this live isn't about me or me just sharing some information with you, but I would love you, besides being present, to share a little bit of you, like, oh, that resonates with me, and that was my case, and you can just put it in some words. I like reading and answering questions. If you have questions about that you might say, I want to know more about that, or that really resonates with me, or that really I can see it in my case, or that's also my story. So let's share here, because the idea is that we can recreate, or let's say integrate here as one, and to become a tribe. The idea with this is that we all can become a tribe. All right. So I am going to begin, and thank you. I see more people joining. Mia and Vibra, Karenina, welcome, and Anadelia, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here tonight. Let's share them. Let's talk about something relevant in life. So, what are family constellations? Many people tend to confuse constellations with astrology. And I want to clarify a little bit about what family constellations is and how they can help you, because that's what really matters, right? But so yeah, that's that. But how can that help me? So we're gonna be talking a little bit about that. Family constellations is a method, let's see, or a possibility for you to transcend an unresolved memory from your past or from your ancestors' past that you are connected to, that you might not be aware of, but is affecting your present and what you want to manifest in different areas of your life. It could be relationships, It could be finances, it could be abundance, it could be health, it could be success. See, there are many ways that we are connected to our past, our ancestral past, and we don't know how that is affecting us. I don't know if it is your case that you have certain, let's say, dreams, visions, goals, or you would like to manifest something in your life, or with a partner, with a family, with your children, with something that you have been working on and you have put maybe a lot of effort on, and still it's like somehow stuck in your life. It's like you try and try and you're tired of trying. So if that's your case, maybe you are in the right place tonight, because that was my story. I had stories of abandonment and betrayal. That was a pattern, a repetitive pattern in my life. And I just couldn't understand the why that was happening to me and how to resolve it until I found family constellations. So let's talk a little bit about family constellations. Family constellations was created, or the founder of family constellations is Bert Hellinger. He transcended a couple of years ago. He is a German psychotherapist, let's say, and he, as in the beginnings of his life, he was sent to Africa as a missionary to help or to work with this tribe called the Zulus. And while Bert Hellinger was there with this tribe, trying to teach them something, he was amazed by see how these people were living in such a harmony when he was coming from a cultural, let's say, a country that was supposed to be civilized, but was at war. And how could it be possible that these people that is supposed to be civilized is at war? And how it can be that this tribe lives in such a harmony? So he was actually surprised by that. And instead of trying to push his beliefs on these people, he became very observant. And so he started to realize that the way they were, let's say, reconciling a problem wasn't about like how we do it here in the West, let's say. For example, if someone in the tribe would commit a crime, let's say, or did something that created disalignment for the whole community, they will bring this person and they will all get together in a big circle, and instead of judging this person, instead of telling this person how bad he was or she was, every member of the tribe will come to this person and let them know, let him or her know how all the good deeds that he had done. Do you remember how good you were at this? Do you remember how good you did when you did this? So instead of rejecting or excluding or judging, they were including the good parts of this person, just for that person to come back to that alignment of love and consciousness. And so that was the way to heal. See, here in where we are, we tend to, let's say, judge criminals and exclude them. And of course, they put them in jail because of what they do. But still, people do this with the tendency to separate, to judge. And he, as he was learning from this tribe and the way they were reconciling every issue that was happening in this tribe, he realized that he had things to learn from these people instead of these people learning from him. So he became friends with them, and actually they accepted him as part of that tribe. And he was there for so many years learning from them how they used to reconcile any issues between the community. And from that, the orders of love, he called them the orders of love, or the principles of love, is what he got to integrate from just observing the way this community was behaving and acting and making decisions and reconciling between each other. So let's talk a little bit about these principles. There are three principles of love, and one of them is called the principle of inclusion. See, we all belong to the system. No matter what we do or how we think or what happened in the past or how disaligned I am, or if my beliefs are different than yours, or if I did something that I hurt everybody, it doesn't really matter. We all belong to the system. Still, in the past, based on all the conditioning, the society and cultural and religious beliefs, right? That created some sort of separation, saying this: you were good and you are bad. And if you were bad, then you were excluded. See, and this exclusion affects the whole system. Because when you exclude someone, even if it is energetically, I'm talking about these exclusions that can happen in the physical or also at the energetic level. It's like saying this: I can say that I can accept you, but maybe I don't like you. And somehow I say yes, but within me, I create this sort of rejection or exclusion with you. So saying this, I'm excluding you energetically. See? And this happens a lot between, like, for example, women who exclude, let's say, the father of their children because they don't, maybe this father wasn't what they were expecting. And so this energetic exclusion is happening here, see? And that is affecting the whole system, specifically the children, but also the whole system continues to have this pattern of exclusion that we don't know where it comes from. So we will have to go to the ancestors and see who excluded who and why. Because behind that, there is a lot of information that can help us get to the root of why we are today feeling that we don't belong, let's say, or that I feel rejected, or I feel like rejecting others. See, so it all has a root. And the idea is that we can create or recreate order in the system first, in your family system. And when you get to feel this order in your family system, you will feel it within yourself. And when you feel it within yourself, right, then that will be projected to the whole system of life. So this is how it works. Your healing will be the healing of all. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, because at this point in the history of humanity, we are here working on reconciling our past, our ancestors, and all the programming that we learned from the past, on reprogramming our minds so we can recreate a different destiny, a different reality for yourself, because we begin from, you first begin with yourself, and then for the whole system of life, because when you are good, everything turns to be good, no matter if it doesn't seem like it. It happens. Hmm? At a quantum level, it happens. So one of these principles, which is called the principle of belonging, is that of recognizing that we all belong to the system. And there are many exclusions, for example, abortions, for example, those members of the family who did something that the clan didn't agree, and they just don't talk about him or her. I don't know if you have seen that movie Encanto. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend you to see it, because no one talks about Bruno. That was an exclusion. And so that is showing us that exclusions happen more often, or is more common of what we think. And maybe we haven't been able to see our family system like with these amplified glasses, where we can see and say, oh, maybe there are some exclusions in my family system, and I didn't know it, or I didn't get to see them before. And maybe it is time for me to see them, recognize them, maybe integrate those, include, reconcile, heal, liberate, so we can finally transcend these repetitive patterns and these unresolved memories from the past, of the past. Okay, so the second principle is called the principle of hierarchy. See, we all have a place in the system, not only about belonging, but it's about who came first and who came after. And honoring the one that came first is very important because it's just honoring that, yes, we all have this order of belonging, but also that there is a priority. You came first and I came after. The order of precedence. And when this order doesn't flow organically, it brings a lot of conflict in the family system. How can this happen? Let's say, I'm going to give you an example here. Let's say that there are two parents that maybe couldn't be available emotionally or physically for these children that are here. And let's say that the oldest of these siblings, let's say that there are three siblings here, right? Maybe the oldest child would say, well, if my mom and my dad aren't available for my needs or for my siblings' needs, I'm going to take that place, that role of being the mom or the father of my siblings. See, so this child, instead of being a child, becomes adult before time. And this child doesn't get to, let's say, live that childhood as he or she was supposed to experience. And then eventually, this person, as they grow up, might have some issues with having a partner, for example, because this person becomes a parent and maybe finds someone to parent instead of someone to partner. See, and has issues because maybe everybody is depending on him or on her to resolve them. So this creates a disorder between the siblings. See, so in constellations work, for example, when we have an issue like this, we make this person acknowledge and identify that the root of it is that, oh, yes, I accepted to be the mother of or the father of my siblings, and I see how that is affecting today my life. And so in constellations work, what we do is that we honor the places. So this sibling, let's say if I'm the first one having this issue, maybe I would say, yes, I am the first child, and you are the second, and you are the third one, and we are all siblings. And so that can recreate a different order that is felt energetically. And I want to talk a little bit about this. When I say felt energetically, is that sometimes we pretend to do changes from our mind. See, I'm going to tell my mind that everything is okay. But are you really feeling okay? See, there is a disconnection between your mind and your heart. And you can say everything is okay, but if you're not really feeling it, things are not going to flow well for you. Because if your soul doesn't feel okay, doesn't feel, look at the word I'm using, feel okay, then your mind cannot recreate that wellness that you want to really see outside in your life. So what we do in constellations is that we work with those emotions that are disaligned, finding the roots of where they first initiated within you or within your ancestors, and that you are replicating just as them. Because what wasn't resolved in the past is still happening today in our present. And what we really need to heal is that emotion, that perspective of what happened in that memory from our past. Make sense? Yes? All right, very good. So we are understanding that what we must change is our soul, not our mind. If our soul realigns towards a new consciousness, then the mind gets at peace and everything flows differently in your life. Then you can say, I feel okay, because you are already feeling it. It's real. It's not what you would like to feel or what you really want to feel, but it's really what you are feeling. It is an expression of I feel great. So your mind really says, I feel great. Things are going to be great. Yes? Makes sense? Very good. So let's talk a little about the third principle. And the third principle has to do with the order of giving and receiving. See? Giving and receiving. And sometimes, or maybe I'm going to ask you this question. Are you one of those who give and give and give, but you feel like you don't receive enough? So if you're one of those, I'm going to ask you then, why do you give so much? See, it's like when we have credits in our pockets, but if you keep on giving those credits to others, at a certain point you will run out of credits. But who was the one who was giving those credits to others? And why are you doing this? So this is very important here. And just listen to this. We all have these emotional gaps, voids in our heart that weren't fulfilled as in our childhood with mom and dad. Let's say, I didn't feel love enough. I didn't feel accepted. I didn't feel approved. I didn't feel that I belonged. I didn't feel. What was it that you can say that as a child you didn't feel fulfilled within you? Because that little memory or that little feeling is the one that is really moving your entire life. We all have this inner child that, even though we look or we seem to be adults, that inner child in us is still there with the same sort of suffering, pain, and lack of. And I'm trying to fill this gap with others, with things, with someone that I need someone to help me fulfill or to fill my canister of love. So I need to receive. And maybe another one who's got the same issue. Oh, if I give this person more and more and more, finally someone is going to love me or accept me or stay with me. See? So both of them, the one that needs a lot and the one that gives a lot in excess, let's say, they both are having the same issue of having an emptiness, a gap that hasn't been able to be fulfilled, and that comes from your childhood. And the only one that can really give you that is not the others or material things. It's only yourself. When you get to that state of consciousness to understand your true self, then you will be able to nourish your inner child. Because mom and dad cannot, because that happened in the past. But listen to this. In a family constellation movement, we can recreate a scene for that inner child to receive that hug that mom never gave me. Or that inner child can receive that sort of, I can see you. I can recognize you. Yes, I am proud of you, son or daughter. And when that inner child gets to feel this, because we are all memory. We have memories. Just listen to this part because it's very important. Memories. Let's talk a little bit about memories before I finish this part. How do we create memories? When something happens, right, at any moment, whether it is something positive or negative, the first who receives the information of what is going to happen is your body. Your nervous system is like something is happening, or it makes me excited, or it makes me fear or scared, or what is happening. So your nervous system activates. And so every cell of your body is feeling it. So the first information goes to our body. Then, if it was something, let's say something that was pleasant, you will say, oh, it feels so good. But if it was something that was maybe painful, then you also will feel it in every cell of your body, and you will be like, oh, I don't like that. That makes me feel, and then the feeling comes or the emotion comes. Maybe you will say, that makes me feel sad, frustrated. That makes me feel anger. That makes me feel sadness. Whatever happened there is going to bring an emotion. And so your body feels it, then your heart feels it, and then it goes to your mind and says, and that makes me scared. And I need to protect myself from whatever it is so I don't get to feel this pain anymore. So all of our memories, right, stay in our body, in our heart, in our mind, and in our mind, right? So let's say that we couldn't resolve this memory. What happens if you cannot resolve this memory? Well, when you haven't been able to resolve this memory because you are so afraid of facing it or confronting it, then this memory stays there. And then if you have maybe children and you didn't get to resolve that, then that will be inheriting to your descendants. And maybe your descendants won't experience the same sort of fear, but maybe 2 generations after will. And maybe one of those descendants will feel the same sort of pain towards certain situations that were the ones you experienced today. And that's how all these repetitive patterns happen to pass on from generation after generation. See how it goes? See how it happens? So what we need to resolve are those emotions, because when we resolve the soul, then the body feels, oh, it feels well again, at peace. And then your mind says, yes, it feels at peace. And then the reconciliation happens. So what we do in family constellations is that we recreate a scene, and we use healing words that you were always waiting or expecting to hear from mom or dad or any ancestor. So you can recreate a memory and liberate it there. And so you can continue without expecting or wanting from others to give you what you feel you need. Someone to fill my gaps. See? So what we have to do, instead of moving forward or trying to look for that outside of me, I need to look back to my parents, to my ancestors. Because all the information that I came to resolve, because yes, I'm repeating this, I came to resolve that. That was part of my soul agreement with my parents and also with the universe. I said to the universe, yes, I am coming to help resolve that issue. And so, of course, you had to experience the issue so you can now recognize why you are here for. And then from here, you can take action on resolving that. Makes sense? I see more people there. Thank you, everyone who is watching. Juanita, and Brady, and Danny, and Timoruth GC. So thank you for being so present and for being here listening to this information. This is my passion. I feel passionate about this because it is a tool and that we all can use to transcend our ancestors' past. And see, I see many people all um, cultivating, let's say, your energy, your body, your mind. But what about your soul? Have you really been taking care of this? Have you done this part? Because this is part of what we must do in order to transcend from this 3D programming to another consciousness. If we don't reprogram our past and our ancestors' past, we will be one more of those who is carrying the same information that is going to be passing that on to the descendants. And we don't want that. We all the ones that are here incarnated today, we all are at service. And our service today is that part I need to heal my mind, part I need to recreate and heal these other parts of me, but the soul is one of those that you must do. And if you didn't know it, well, maybe I'm here to remind you that because that was the service that I chose to do, to come and help people transcend those memories. Okay, so I spoke about the 3 principles of love from Bert Hellinger, and also I spoke about family constellations. So let's talk a little bit about why I was talking about this to begin. I wanted you to really understand this because the book that I wrote last year, Alchemy for the Soul, is based on family constellations. See, all those principles of love are here, and all the content that I wrote here is for you to understand. But how is that I'm connected to my ancestors? How is that possible? And it is all in your genetic information. Our DNA is carrying that information. If you pretend to deny what is there, then you won't be able to change or your present or what you came here to help serve the system of life through healing yourself, because that's pretty much the process. We are all helping heal the system of life through our own healing. And within this book, there are 22 systemic exercises that you can do to heal mom, dad, recreate order, do inclusion, recreate that order and balancing the giving and receiving, become an adult, no living from that unconscious inner child, and a lot of work that if you get to do just these simple 7 steps, I assure you, and no, I'm not saying this because I think it is like that. It is because I have a lot of people who has read the book send me messages pretty much every day telling me how amazing has been for them to acknowledge what was happening to them and how throughout the exercises they got to expand that consciousness and create that liberation. So if you haven't purchased your book, you can go to Amazon and Alchemy for the Soul. Okay, so for the ones that don't know it because you came late, we are following this information, right? And we are now on page number 30. So I'll be reading a little bit of the book here, and we will be commenting. If you have any comments, you're welcome to put your comments there. I will love comments and questions because I feel like we are participating. As I said at the beginning, this isn't about me. I really would love you to participate and to share your story, or maybe you relate to it, or I can see that in my life. Oh, that is my pattern. So your story can serve us all. As my story, when I share my story, everybody can say, oh, I've been there too. See, my stories of abandonment and betrayal were a repetitive pattern. And if I didn't get to find this tool of the family constellations, I would probably still be doing it the same. And we don't want to do it the same, right? We are all working and on recreating a different destiny for ourselves in our lives, with our partner, with our finances, with our health, with success, and so on. So let's see what it says here. And this is going to clarify a little bit about what I spoke about, how memories are created. It says this: every experience creates a memory. Our memories are ingrained at a cellular, emotional, mental, and genetic level. That means that whatever you don't get to resolve, or whatever our ancestors didn't get to resolve, guess what? They are information, or it is information that you are carrying. The cells of our body keep the impression of our experiences, of what we feel, learn, and perceive. Those memories that impacted us negatively are hidden in our unconscious mind, and we must find them as they keep the emotions that cause us pain and suffering. These emotions are stored in our soul. In the recognition and liberation of these memories lies our potential to create and manifest a different destiny. You might ask yourself, how can we generate a change in those memories? We need an experience that recreates an inner change at a cellular, emotional, and mental level. We understood that, right? We need an experience to recreate the memory that we experienced in the past and that is causing us pain or suffering, or our ancestors. We are here to recreate those memories. So we need an experience for that. This is where the dynamic of family and systemic constellations of Bert Hellingers come into play. The unconscious memories of the past not only generated suffering, but disorder in the system. But Hellinger said that where there is no order, love doesn't flow. So first is order, and then love comes with it. So if there is order in the system, if there is order within, then everything is going to flow organically. The individual who has unresolved issues is trapped in the memories of the past. This past is connected to his family system. So it is not just the individual, but the entire system that is in disorder. To reconcile the past of the individual, we must see his family system. And here I want to say something else. See, if sometimes people tend to say, well, I'm leaving my family because I really just don't connect with them anymore. But no matter if you go to the other side of the world, we are so connected to that system that even though you can travel so far away from them, all of those memories are within you. So you belong to that system. No matter if you deny it, everything that happened there, all the destiny of your ancestors and yours with them is there within you already. So if we want or pretend to run away from it, we are not really helping ourselves, because what you resist persists, right? Bert Hellinger, a German psychotherapist, developed the method of what is known as family constellations. Family constellations are a therapeutic tool to identify and transcend a person's conflicts that are related to his family system and that limit his individual development. So most of those things that we want to accomplish are probably that we haven't been able to accomplish, right? Are probably connected to your family system. And at this point, after all of what I have been experiencing throughout Constellation, I can say that pretty much everything is systemic. So it's not about you, it's about your system. It's not you, it is your system. If your system was in disorder, guess what? Your life is not going to flow in order because the order must be recreated from here, that we need to go and find the root of where that started, where the disorder started. If I don't find the root, then I will keep moving with the same disorder. Unconsciously, of course. We don't want that. We consciously want great things for ourselves, right? But if we have these memories that we haven't been able to recognize, well, then that's what's happening. We are carrying the same sort of disorder. Hmm? So let's continue. In the beginning, Bert Hellinger was sent to Africa as a missionary. Living with the Zulu tribe, he was surprised to find that they lived in great harmony and that the way they reconciled was through mutual respect, acceptance, and recognition. These principles and their application are the work of the family constellations. When we feel belonging, ask yourself, when you feel belonging, recognized, and respected, we feel loved and complete, don't we? Right? That's all we are looking for, to be recognized, loved, and accepted, and respected. See, because every one of us is unique in this unity that we are, and that's all we are looking for. But when we didn't get this from the beginning, we feel that we are not complete. So we are looking to feel this completeness within, and from that we can walk freely towards life. Okay, Hellinger developed his method from other family therapies that had been developing since the 20s, such as the Gestalt therapy, phenomenology, primal therapy, transgenerational, psychoanalysis, neurolinguistics, and psychodrama, among others. He also developed and stated the three systemic principles that I was just talking about today. So, what do you think? Where are you with those principles? How are those principles flowing in your life today? Can you see, am I really making everyone belonging? See your life today. See it, see it in you at work. Am I making everyone belonging? See your family system. And if you don't like your father, am I really making my father belonging? If you had issues with your mother, are you really making your mother belonging? Is she really integrated within your heart with sincerity? Or you're pretending to say that she is in your mind and that you have forgiven her in your mind, but not felt it in your heart? Because remember that this is all about feeling it, not understanding it. Make sense? See? Now, next question. Have you seen any sort of hierarchy disorders in your family system? Hmm? Can you see that maybe if grandma was the one taking care of you, maybe you would say, well, for me, it was more important grandma than my mother because my mother wasn't emotionally or affectively present for me. So there is a disorder there. Hmm? Oh no, my brother was more present for me than my father, and my mother died. And so maybe I haven't been able to create that order, but everything for me is my brother. So there is a disorder there. See? Next question. How is that giving and receiving dynamic in your life? The question again, are you giving too much and you feel like you're not receiving enough back? Or are you one of those that I need more, I need more attention, I need more love, I need more people to be around me? So where this need comes from? Have you been taking care of it? See, because that's speaking to you. That's creating decompensation. The balance goes off when you don't take care of or try to keep these orders in order, right? Those principles in order. So when there is order, love flows, as Bert Hellinger was teaching us. Okay, so this is a time for all of us to participate. Hi, Mar. I see you. I see you are on YouTube. Thank you for being here. I love that heart. Well, and also, if you like it, please do a like or put a heart. Or if you think this information can serve someone else, please share it. This information that I'm putting out here is for everybody or the most people. My intention is that the most people can hear this information, this systemic view, so we can change the perspective of this sort of closed perspective that didn't allow me to see life differently to a more amplified vision where I can say, oh, but it's possible to heal my ancestors' memories. Isn't that amazing? Our ancestors didn't have this possibility, didn't know about this tool, didn't have therapists that could, really help them transcend those deep emotions, repressions, sadness, anger. It was all kept in their hearts. And they survived because they didn't thrive. They just had to survive because of the circumstances of the past. Today, we have the possibility to thrive. And you can generate that for yourself and eventually for the descendants or for the ones that are to come. See, with your healing, we are healing the system of life. So, any questions? Any questions so far? Anything you want to share? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to comment? Um, you can write it here on comments, and I'll be happy to share it with the group. Or also, if you want to participate, that'll be amazing. Or if you want to have or you have any questions, you can say, yes, I have a question. So how is this or that, Maya? Because I love questions. I love when people ask me questions. That's my favorite moment when I get to say, juicy, there's something that maybe can help us all because, the questions are synchronicity. Your question might be the question of some of the ones that are here too. So if you have any question, welcome to put it on comments. Thank you. Thank you for those hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you for being so present. I want to let you know that maybe if you're shy or you don't want anybody to know your story because maybe there are certain things that you don't want everybody to know. Well, I do one-on-one sessions, individual sessions online through Zoom, and I also do group sessions on family constellations. So any of those two options, just contact me. You can leave me a message here on Instagram or here on YouTube or there on Facebook. and I just contact me and we will go from there. I do appointments. We can do by appointment, of course, and you can take a session one-on-one if you, after what you heard today about the principles of love, and see if, oh, I'm seeing that maybe I'm missing some of those principles, or I can see that there is a disorder in my life, and then I can take some action to recreate that disorder created in order so I can unleash myself from what hasn't been able to allow me to create the reality that I want to manifest. Hmm? So, also for the ones here, therapists, healers, coaches, whoever who is in the therapeutic world that would like to have an extra tool to help transcend the soul in a deep, deep level, I also have a training program with a certification, and that is an 8 steps, 8 modules program where you will be certified to do this therapy for others. So if you are interested, you can go to systemichealinginstitute.com, and then you can see the whole program and the price, and you can also see the modules and the dates. All right. So I guess that is it for tonight. I don't know if you have any more questions. You can just leave them in comments, or if you get to see this video after and you still have questions after you heard today, then you can say, she said something about this. I am going to ask her about that. That is my case. That is my situation. That is my issue. How can I resolve that? And so I'll be happy to give you some insights or give you some sort of light of where you are and how that could be that you could be connected to those ancestors, and how that's why maybe that's how it is affecting your life today. So I'll be more than happy to give you an insight or some light of where to go if you want to go on your own. Okay? I guess that is it for tonight. I was so happy to be here with you. Thank you for your presence. It is my pleasure to be here, and I honor your presence, because if you're not there, then it wouldn't be worth it for me to be here sharing all of this information. Actually, I can say that this type of dynamics of putting myself here, even though it doesn't seem like it, is getting me out of my comfort zone, especially in English. That is not my language, my main language. Not saying that I don't speak it, but but yes, my idea is that, or my intention is that I can touch more people with this information, and so whatever it is needed to do, this worker of this server of life is here at your service and at the service of life. And that's all I really feel like makes me be out here speaking to myself or to you or to whoever is willing to listen to this information. I know there are people that are ready to see life from this view, and if you get to see this information and think that it can serve you, and think that you can serve yourself and life through little dynamics and movements and experiences like the family constellations, welcome. I open my arms to you. I'll be more than happy to have you here doing a one-on-one session, a group session, or getting trained by me. I'll be more than happy. I so love teaching. That's one of my gifts, and I am doing my part. I don't want to get up to heaven and say, okay, I didn't do my part because I was afraid of speaking English or being out in the camera, right? So I'm doing my part, and I'm proud of myself, by the way, that it's been for me a long journey. And constellations, family constellations, was actually part of me being able to put myself out here to others and not to feel fear or even communicating this information that might seem strange at the beginning, but the most you listen to it, the more you will be able to be absorbing it until there is like a clicking moment when you say, oh, I get it. Now I understand what Maya is saying. I get it. That's my case. And from there, you can say, I am going to change this because I just remember that I came to help me and the system of life through my own healing. And that's all I wanted to share today. Thank you all for coming. I'm sending you hugs and infinite blessings. I hope to see you next Friday at 8 p.m. again. And if you like this video again, just give it a like, send the heart. I love those hearts. I love the white ones on Instagram. They are beautiful. I love the red ones on YouTube. And I guess I'll see you next week. Have an amazing rest of the weekend and connect, keep connected, keep expanding, and keep feeling yourself. What is that I must change? What is your soul telling you that it's time for you to identify and to reconcile within you? And your healing is the healing of all. So I'll be happy to help you if you need help. All right, my dears. Mwah. I'll see you next Friday. Bye. Oh, I see. I see. I see more people here. Sophie, Christy, Andreina, Jairo, mm, Rose. I see you there too. How beautiful. All right, guys. I see you next week. Mwah. Mar. Mwah.